If you want to, oh shit. If you
more fun in your conversations, there is one thing that you have to implement, and that is expression. Now, every person since you were a child was very expressive. As my other job, other than the coaching I do on this channel, I am a chess teacher for children. Children 5 to maybe 15 years old, mostly younger on the younger side. And the thing about children is that they're always just so playful, expressive. And when a child's not expressive, not playful, it's almost concerning to see them in such a gloomy mood. And I've had a couple of children who are like that, and I can't really tell too much about their family life, but I would assume that maybe they're put down a lot, maybe there's a lot of yelling in that house, maybe there's shaming, maybe that child, when he did express himself or he was just being himself, he was yelled at or something bad happened, and now he's much more quiet. And it's a very odd thing when I talk to these, or when I'm teaching these types of kids, because they're not as engaged in what I'm saying, they're not as engaged into what's happening, and they're not even really talking or responding to me, and so there's no emotional connection being built. And then when I'm giving my chess lesson, or I'm doing anything and there's no emotional connection being built, it feels so transactional. It feels like I have this other person in front of me, but you're just not responding to me. And it's almost like that person is dead on the inside. You ever feel that? You ever talk to someone and they're kind of like dead on the inside? Or they're mean or negative on the inside, and you're like, ugh, like what in the hell is your problem, bro? We usually work at the DMV, there's this one person at my library. Oh my God, her energy is so mean so much at the time. I don't know if she knows it, but very, very like negative energy. And so what we want to do is to be expressive of our childlike, playful energy. So expressive of our childlike, playful energy. And a lot of people just need the permission to do this. It's like you already kind of want to do it, but you just need the permission. You're just layered on by so much years of social conditioning upon yourself around the people that you've been with, that you kind of have to be this person. And breaking out of it would be, I don't think these other people would look at me the same. I wouldn't look at myself the same, something like that. And you want to do it, it's just, that's not the perception people have of me. That's not who I am. But who you are is here. And what you're showing to the world is this. And so they're saying this, and you're like, this is not who I am, this is not who I am. And they're like, yeah, we know, you're dead inside. But it's bridging that, and it is a big process, and it's about slowly expressing yourself over time. So it's in an interaction in which you would maybe hold back your laugh, hold back something you would say, hold back a comment. You just say it to the degree that you're comfortable with. And if you keep doing that, stacking it up over interactions, over weeks, over months, over years, you begin to have a complete identity shift in which you do different things in your life, and so you think of yourself as a different person. But what you want to do is express this childlike, playful energy that you have in yourself. And when I'm with the students that I teach, the amount of teasing, of like nonsense is talking about nonsense. Nonsense. How the fuck do I spell sense? I don't know. Topic switches. The conversation is like super engaging because they're not rooting it to reality. They're talking about this topic. They instantly switch to this topic. Then they say something about this, and they go, and it's just all over the place. And they're doing it with such, happy, natural energy. And what's happening inside of them is that they're just saying what they're thinking. And this is exactly what you need to do too. Now, the reason you don't say what you're thinking is because of the conditioning of other people and this kind of lower identity that you have of yourself. I'm not that type of person to say these types of things. And if you don't know what to say, well, at a true core, it should be like any time that you feel like you want to say something but you hold it back, that is what you should be saying. And again, if you don't have anything to say or you don't even know, it's like, well, I don't even know if you should say anything, bro. It just seems like you're a very boring person. If you're not in a conversation or going throughout your life and certain things are making you think of certain things, like you're dead inside. Like you should be thinking about how this made me feel. What do I think about that? What's like something cool that I could do or fun that I could do? And all of this is coming through the energy, which is the subcommunications, which accounts for 93% of all communication. And it's in the relaxation of the body. It's in the funness, like it's in the laughter that they have. It's in the true laughter. Not taking anything that's serious. And of course I have to step in sometimes with maybe people's feelings get hurt. But that's where my more grounded kind of like, okay guys, come on now. And I'm not building too much into it, but I'm able to keep the rest of the group grounded because my emotions are grounded. And so these people are giving a lot more relaxed laughter. And then sometimes when you're talking to someone, you want to get into more of a flirty, you want to add tension to this conversation. And the way you do that is still by having this laughter, but you do it by either transitioning it to a man to woman. So a man to woman is going to be it's going to make the conversation more tense. And so if you're a girl and you're talking to a guy, or you're a guy talking to a girl, if you just say to that person, hey, I find you attractive, that's going to add a lot of pressure. And you could say it a whole bunch of ways. So watch this. I find you attractive. Okay, that's one way. Yeah, I find you attractive. I find you attractive. I find you attractive. Okay, all those are the same words, but the energy they're giving out is all different. And I know that the energy that is coming from is from the mindsets that you have. And the mindsets that you have come from the experiences that you've gone through. And so, no wonder you're going to feel very nervous talking to someone, being expressive in a conversation, if all your life growing up you have been doing over and over again is holding back your suppression. Now that's going to feel this holding back as normal, and even you're going to get a tension to expressing yourself. Let me go deeper. This tension that you feel in your body when you want to express yourself but can't is called expression suppression. It's what I call it, okay? Expression suppression. You want to express yourself but you can't because of different things. One of those things is a fear of judgment. One of the biggest things. The fear of judgment is, how will I be perceived if I do it? If someone gave you permission to do it, you would do it fine. But the fact that you have this fear of judgment is you don't give yourself permission. You don't give yourself permission. And where does that come from? You have to, this is how you practice being mindful. Why didn't I go up and do it? Why did I go up and do it when someone told me I could do it? Why did I get that different feeling in my body? I remember one time, and I'll tell you why. It's because when you have this fear of judgment, it's because you fear the outcome. You fear heavily the outcome. And if we take this to an evo-psych, biology, tribal times psychology hundreds of thousands of years ago, what we get is you have a fear of the outcome because that outcome could end negative. That outcome for you doing this thing that you're obviously a little bit scared of doing, and it could be as small of an expression as looking someone in the eyes. You look someone in the eyes, that's a form of expression. Telling a joke is a form of expression. All these things, allowing yourself to impact the world, is a form of expression. And so just imagine the small thing of giving eye contact to someone. Why do you feel nervous giving eye contact? There's so many people who feel nervous giving eye contact because it's you expressing yourself. In a deep way, actually, too. But in the least deep way. So you fear that outcome because maybe in your past experiences, and let's just take the interaction between you and, just say you're a girl and there's a guy, and every time you've given eye contact to a guy, or every interaction you've had with a guy, every experience you've had with a guy, they're mean to you, they've called you names, they've put you down. Now, of course, you expressing yourself to a guy in any way possible is you're already going to have this preconceived notion of, oh, he doesn't like me. And what is that? That is your mindset. That is a mindset of, oh, people, or it could be guys, or it could be girls, don't like me. And so you have this already preconceived notion that this person doesn't like you. They don't even know you, brother. They don't even know you. People don't like me. And so if that's the mindset you're coming into because that's the experiences that you had, well, guess what your actions are going to represent? Your actions are going to, in your mindset, come out in your framing. You may be super self-deprecating. You may put the person you're talking to on a pedestal, and your sub-communications are going to be nervous, and they're not going to be loose, and you're not going to be relaxed, and you're not going to be activating your free association muscle, but you're going to be stuck in this stress state. And this stress state is happening not only in your mind, but it's happening in your body. It's happening in your body through the sympathetic nervous system. And so in the brain, we have something called the amygdala. And the amygdala is kind of like the computer. It's like an AI PC for the human brain, brother. What it does is it intakes visuals and audio and senses, all your 5 senses, and it draws conclusions to that. And in a very reductionist take, if you, every time, growing up from age 0 to, say, age 18, every time you went up and talked to a guy, every time you went up and talked to a girl, every time a girl went up and talked to you, every interaction between you and a guy and you and a girl, at least most of them, when you wanted to express your feelings, it went bad. Or you didn't know how to do it, or you saw other people express their feelings and it went bad. Basically, all your experiences were negative. All your experiences were negative towards that given topic. Well, then your mindset's going to be negative. And this can also be, if we give another analogy, something like your weight. If you've been bullied about your weight most of your life, well, when the topic about weight comes up, your mindset's going to be like, oh, my weight is bad. I'm bad because of my weight. And then the actions from that are you're going to be more tense. Your framing may be like lesser on yourself. Your sub-communications are going to be, again, more tense, less relaxed, like this. And why? And why is that? It's because of a physiological thing in your body. Your nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, is getting activated because the amygdala, the AIPC fucking part of the brain, has interpreted the information that it's been given, and say we're on now the 10th iteration. But on iteration 1 to 9, on experiences that we had 1 to 9, when a person I went to talk to, a person that I did like, talked to me, or we interacted, I was scared, I didn't express myself, it didn't go well. That happened 9 times in a row. Well, on the 10th time, I'm going to probably think the same thing is going to happen. Now, on these 1 to 9 times that it does happen and I get rejected, what is there's 2 things I can take away from that. I can say I'm bad. I can say, oh, people don't like me because there's something wrong with me. Or the other thing is I can say is, oh, nothing personal. Nothing personal. However, a person with low self-esteem who already has this preconceived notion, either because somewhere in their childhood they've been told things that they're not good enough, they've been compared, they have a perfectionist syndrome, and they already have a mindset of, hey, I'm bad. Well, what's going to happen? The amygdala is going to be, the AIPC is going to be like, hey, I already have that thought. This thing keeps happening to me. Obviously, this thought is true. And now it's true this much, now it's true this much, then it happens 4 times, then it's true that much, then it happens 100 times, and then this has to be true. This is the worldview. And that's how you stack your worldviews into something delusional, like, I'm a bad person. People naturally don't like me. And that's the worldview I had for a lot of my life. It was weird to go talk to people. It was weird for people to talk to me. It was weird for me to be liked or to have fun. And those thoughts, as you carry out through your life, are very damaging. They damage you the most when it comes to socializing. And if you ever want to express yourself, your feelings to another person, have a deep connection, build relationships with others, friendships, what are you going to need to do? Socialize. And so this thing doesn't just affect like, oh my God, I can't find a fucking girlfriend. I can't find a boyfriend. No, it's like, I can't find a wife that I want. I can't find the husband that I want because I can't talk to them. Even though they come into my life, I can't express myself. And so they don't even get to see the real me. They get to see the mask I have to put on every day because of what has happened to me and the mindsets I've gotten from what has happened to me. And so I could go deeper into the actual biology of what's happening when your amygdala senses these things coming in. So it has sensed this thing happening 9 times, and then it gets an intuitive sense of, oh, it's about to happen again. And so this could be, if we take it more to a simple thing, like a guy walking by, guy is entering my space, woman is entering my space. Last couple times that happened in my life, it was no bueno. This time, probably no bueno. All the other times, this person didn't like me. This time, the person probably doesn't like me. And every time that this happened, and you got rejected, you got the thought, and if you already had a bad, thought process about yourself, this gets reinforced. And because this gets reinforced, your amygdala, your brain, your RAS, your way of looking about and interpreting things gets reinforced with this too. If you had a good childhood upbringing where people instilled a base self-confidence, told you that people, reject you and it's okay, told you how to socialize properly, you got to watch your parents in a loving relationship, watch other people in a loving relationship, got to experience good connections with a lot of people who are similar, who are familiar. And what is that? That's your ESS. That's your emotional support system. And so what you find is people with high self-esteem have good emotional support systems. People with low self-esteem have bad emotional support systems. Bad relationships growing up, good relationships growing up. Bad mindset inherently, good mindset inherently. Things happen in the world, they reinforce this mindset, I am bad. And every time it reinforces it, you go into the next situation with the framing and subcommunication that I know this is going to mess up. This is just the way it is. And then when somehow, God's know what, a good thing does happen, it lands right on your lap, you will self-sabotage because this is not the way that your brain is. This is not the way that life is. This is not normal. Get back to your normal state. This is who you are. This is so ingrained into you that even no matter if the opportunity, the situation has fallen on your lap, you will self-sabotage because this is where you belong. This is where your mind genuinely believes that you belong. Whew. And so you cannot be in a playful state if your sympathetic nervous system is busting crazy. You just can't be. Because this is going to put you in a fight or flight. And what's going to happen initially is you're going to experience adrenaline, epinephrine, and that's going to give you that quick, oh shit, that quick startle. But then if that negative energy continues and it persists and you don't do anything about it, that's where you're going to get into like this freeze mode. And that's where your body gets shut down. And this links back to experiences that you've had before. If you were getting yelled at by your parent and it was a lot of stress upon you and you can't run away from that situation and you can't fight back, well, your body's going to get that initial boost of adrenaline. So if we take this back to a primal day, to the primal days, you see a bear or some type of threat possibly. You get that boost of adrenaline. Oh shit. And then from there, you're supposed to make your decision. Okay, I'm gonna fight this or flight. And then you just do that and you're chilling. And you'll realize, being mindful, that if you ever get this flight or flight feeling and then you actually do it, you feel okay. You don't feel like super stressful after. You feel like you kind of got away from the danger at hand. But if you can't, what happens is this adrenaline, kicks in. You go, oh shit, your body gets in that super alert mode, and now I'm tuned in. But if the stress continues, the danger continues, the danger threat continues. So it's like a bear, but I ran away from the bear. But what if it's like your parent coming into your room and you're a child? You can't run away from that. That danger's still here. And then you're just keeping that stress is keeping upon you. And the stress danger, I call it just negative energy. When that negative energy is keeping and it's stacking and it's stacking and it's going, what happens is that this adrenaline wears off. The adrenaline wears off. But what happens to keep the flight or flight active, to keep your body telling you, hey, you're in danger right now. Hey, you're in danger right now. Hey, you're in danger right now. is the HPA axis activates. And what the HPA axis is the hypothalamus, hypothalamus, pituitary, and the amygdala. What is it called? The Anning glands? Give me a second, I have to look this up. It's these glands that sit on top of your liver. Glands on top of liver. Adrenal glands, yeah. And what this HPA axis is your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and your adrenal glands. So what happens when that initial fight or flight happens? You get that adrenaline, but the stress is still coming and you can't run, you can't fight, you have to freeze. What happens is that the hypothalamus, this is like the body's thermometer, it sends hormones, it regulates the temperature. What it does is it sends a hormone releasing molecule to the pituitary, and that pituitary part of your body, well, I hope I'm saying that right. And this pituitary then sends chemicals, hormones down to your adrenal glands, which sit right above your kidneys. And these glands then release cortisol. And this cortisol is a stress hormone. And that cortisol is keeping pumping through your body, which keeps you in this flight or flight states. And high amounts of cortisol over long periods of time lead to chronic stress. And a big reason why you may get a deep feeling of like that shallowness in your stomach when you get very stressed or anxiety happens is because there is a specific nerve from your adrenal gland that goes down to your stomach. And so you actually get these physical feelings because of all these biological, physiological reasons in you. You get that like butterflies because there's a nerve in your lower stomach that when you get into a state of anxiety and stuff, this happens. And you get that deep feeling in there because you can't run away from the initial danger, and it's still there. And so this is your fear of outcome kicking in your body. And this is all very important because the more you're aware of what's happening in your body and what's happening in your mind, you're able to observe it and say, okay, I understand what's happening here. I have control over this. This isn't some random problem, this random thing happening in my body for God knows what reason. I can connect every single thing from the stimuli I experience to the nerve that wraps into my lower stomach that gives me the feeling of butterflies, that makes my heart and my throat constrict and my muscles contract. I can see that, how it's affecting my nervous system. And once you're aware of all this, at each step you can be like, oh, this is happening to my body, but it's not what I want to identify with, and it's not what should be happening. I shouldn't be happening this because of the experiences I went through as a child. It's the only reason why I'm getting such a hyperactive anxiety here right now is because of what I've went through and the experiences I've gone through and the mindsets that are happening right now. And what you need to do is be mindful of all this stuff, the things in your body, the things in your mind, and keep saying to yourself, is this the person I want to be? I'm feeling this stuff right now. This is the conditioning I've been through. How would I want to act if I could pick who I wanted to be? And that is what free will is. It's not being controlled by your body or your mind, but it's, okay, I understand everything that's happening to me. I understand the conditioning. Where do I want to go from here? How do I want to present myself? And if you're stuck in conversations, you want to be more fun in conversation, you would do this by expressing and saying the things you want to say even with those feelings, and that would take courage. This is something though I went out and did like 2 years of doing it. 2 years of feeling the nervousness in my body, and then going out and still talking and socializing and expressing myself, building on it, and eventually I got to, I would start conversations just to someone asking where the washroom is, and my body would kick in. My sympathetic nervous system would kick in because my mindset was, people don't want to talk to me. But then I kept doing that, and I would ask, where's your washroom? Oh, where's the washroom? How are you doing today? What are you doing? Try to have a conversation, ask them what they're doing, tell some things about what I'm doing, try to make a comment on what they're doing, tease them, compliment, have fun in the conversation. And then I would push even further, talking to girls that I found attractive, or just girls in general, then girls I found attractive, and then it just kept pushing myself. And at each time, the thing is, the mindset of, oh, this person doesn't want to talk to me, is getting harder and harder, more and more nervous, the more I value the other person. The more I look at the other person as someone who wouldn't want to talk to me. And so this is where your main thing of suppression is coming from. You're looking at the other person as someone who maybe isn't your friend, who doesn't want you to be expressive or fun, who doesn't want you to talk to them. And those are the wrong mindsets. The mindset should be, everyone's my friend. I don't have to prove or do anything to make anyone like me. Everyone just is my friend. People like me. I like people. Talking is normal. Being fun, being playful is normal. And then saying the teases, the compliments, the emotion, the connecting that you want to do in that conversation, in that interaction. Slowly, over time, to the degree that you're comfortable with, and slowly pushing that further and further. So this does seem like a lot. I understand. If you want more help with this, you can book a call for either my one-on-one coaching or a strategy session with me, where I help you one-on-one go over the personal things that are in your life, where you want to get to, what's holding you back. And yeah, so with that, guys, boys and girls, I love you so much. Peace out. Bye.